What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino, and I'm gonna tell y'all like this. This one is personal for me, because anybody knows me, y'all know I love basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport. In the immortal words of Curtis Blow, basketball is my favorite sport. I love the way they dribble up and down the court. And Gilbert Arenas has come out and really disrespected my favorite player of all time. Y'all know me. Y'all know that Hakeem Olajuwon is the beginning and the end for me. Best player that I've ever had a chance to witness in my lifetime. It's my preference. And one of the most dignified and respectful individuals off the court as well. And Gilbert Arenas made a video where he was just making mockery and disrespecting the king because players come to Olajuwon to work out with him and work on their game and work on their footwork and low post moves and things of that nature. This has been going on for over a decade. And he found out that Hakeem allegedly charges $50,000 for the sessions or uh, $50,000 a week. I don't know which one it is, but when he got wind of that, he made this video where he really started going in on Hakeem. He accused Hakeem of scamming. And bro, when you use the word scamming, man, that means that you are intentionally setting out to deceive and trick somebody out of their money when you scamming them. Again, Hakeem Olajuwon uh, has never been accused of having a lack of integrity, has never been accused of being a disrespectful person, a dishonest person, a dishonorable, deceitful individual. That's on and off the court, right? So for this guy to come out and accuse him of scamming, bro, that is a serious accusation. And it's one that shouldn't be taken lightly because now you are going at my character. You are going at my principles as a man and as a person, and it's also you just being a hater because if he does charge that amount, he's not putting a pistol to any of those players' heads and making them pay it. If you go to the store, you go to a shoe store, or wherever you go to a car lot, if you see the price of something on whatever it is you're interested in getting, and you purchase it anyway, that means you were fine with the price. You understood what it cost, and you reached in and you paid it. To scam somebody would be to deceitfully portray the service in one way and maybe sneak some money out of somebody's pocket in a way that they didn't know it was coming. You beating them. You going back into the credit card and getting money, or they just didn't know what they were up against. Nah, these players who make millions of dollars, they come in well aware of what it costs to work with Olajuwon, and they pay it. I've never heard one player complain or say, "Oh man, I wouldn't work with Hakeem and I'm still not, my footwork still ain't right." Nah, they voluntarily pay it, and not only that, I've never heard or seen a situation where Hakeem Olajuwon was actively soliciting players. Like, you don't see no commercials. Hey, I'm Hakeem Olajuwon. Come to my camp and I'll show you for the low price of $50,000. Nah, these guys are coming to him. And it started years and years ago with Kobe. Kobe was the first one to come to Hakeem after he had already just won the championship. He wanted to tighten up his post game, his footwork, and he was the first one to come to Hakeem. And this is an all-time great. So quite naturally, players follow suit with it. Kobe going to him, and Kobe's the best in the game at the time. Maybe I should go to him. So now you see Dwight Howard went to him. You see Carmelo Anthony working with him. You seen LeBron working. You see all these great players, and a lot of them, not just big men, perimeter players, guards and forwards, going to work with a center on footwork. See, that shows you how elite that Olajuwon was. That shows you how great he was and how respected he was by his peers, but more so how respected he is by the current players. Olajuwon ain't been in the league in 20 years. And you still got guys coming to me. And I just named the big names. There have been a lot of guys to come to Hakeem to get their game together. So in the case of Gilbert Arenas, bro, you can't police another man's respect for another man. If they choose to pay that price and they feel like they're getting something out of it and they want to do that for themselves, then that's not something that you speak on. That's always been a rule. You don't never speak on another man's income and how he brings in his revenue. You don't do that. And when it's legitimate. You know, now if you know somebody's running around here scamming old ladies or something like that, or your family member, okay, that's different. But this ain't what that is, bro. So it makes me wonder what's in you. Have you become like a lot of the people on the internet to where you would reach that point where you're gonna say and do anything you can to get some views? You're gonna go after this shock value, these shock value type topics that you know are gonna cause controversy, but you don't care because it's gonna bring in the views, it's gonna get people talking, got me talking and other folks talking about it. I mean, that speaks to character and integrity as well, because the question is for you, if you were talking about somebody or making mockery or accusing somebody of scamming for charging $50,000 for their service, what if somebody called you and wanted to give you $50,000 to help them work on their, oh my bad, I don't recall any situations where any pro players have called Gilbert Arenas to ask him to help them work on some stuff. So, you know, but you wouldn't turn it down if they did. So, you know, to go at a man like Hakeem Olajuwon, and I wouldn't care if it was Hakeem. It could be anybody, man. You know, you minding your business, doing your thing. It doesn't matter who it is. You never go at a man's pockets like that. Don't ever do that, bro. That's just not something you do. Now, this is all coming out of the mouth of a man who made, Gilbert Arenas made at least $100 million in his basketball career. I remember him signing a $100 million deal at one point in his career. And that $100 million deal that he signed was a product of a couple of things. It was a product of the economics of the NBA at that time, which had exploded and are greater now. But it was also a product of the hard work and the time that Gilbert Arenas had put in as a player to bring himself up from nowhere in the league to becoming an all-star caliber player. Basically a franchise level player. Gilbert Arenas was a franchise level player at one time. So he earned the money that he got, but that money that he got still is on the shoulders of Oscar Robertson and Elgin Baylor and Jerry West and Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, guys like that, who you can combine their salaries for their career and it wasn't $100 million. So people like that, all the way going up into the Magics, the Birds, the Jordans, all the way into the Olajuwons, those guys like that, man, they the reason why you making the money you make, bro. You know, that line should never be crossed to try to make jokes and crack jokes about what another man is charging when the people who he's charging that amount to, they coming to him. See, Hakeem Olajuwon's service as far as working with these players, it represents a demand. He's in demand. See, if you laid out the list of guys that he's worked with, he's in demand. Hakeem ain't telling this secretary, hey man, call some people up and see if they down to come to Houston and work with him. Now they reaching out to him. And the last point I'm gonna make is, trust and believe, Olajuwon don't need the money. He charging what he charging because, hey, look, this is what I view my service to be worth. I put value. That's like anything you sell. You put value on it. But Hakeem don't need the money. Hakeem got real estate all over Houston and possibly beyond. He ain't hurting for the money. But at the end of the day, if this is my service, I'm going to apply a value to it. And you have the choice to pay that price or not. My daddy taught me never argue with a man's price. If I tell you I'm selling this pen for $500, it don't do you no good to argue with me. You just say I'm not interested. I'm not gonna buy it. But the reality is there's somebody that will buy this pen for $500. So it raises a red flag, and it makes me think about any man, not just Gilbert Arenas, but any man who attacks another man's pockets, man. When you start going in, because you can, that's a form of character assassination, number one. But you can also, with this social media thing, you can plant a negative seed in the minds of people who might not know the reality or know the truth, and now you got them looking at this man some kind of way. People who are impressionable and foolish enough to believe you when you apply the word scamming to Hakeem Olajuwon. Come on, man. We can't do that, man. It's your big brother K-Rino. This one was personal, man. Don't come after the dream, bruh. Don't come after the dream, man. We ain't had no championships till the dream brought them home in '94, and then we ain't sniffed the championship since, man. So I'm always ride for Olajuwon. It's your big brother K-Rino. I'll catch y'all later on. Peace and love.